What's up, y'all? Welcome back, Pitchside with Parker. And today, I kind of just wanted to make a video to let y'all know I'm alive. I'm here. Obviously, a huge weekend of soccer coming up. I know that I haven't really been posting very much, and some of y'all, especially, I feel bad for the people who might have found my channel from like the Euro previews, because I did all this work for the previews and then I haven't made a single video throughout the tournament. But there's just been a lot of stuff going on in my life personally. My work's been crazy. I need to get surgery soon, and I've been dealing with a lot of medical issues, personal issues. It's just been a lot. So I haven't really had time for the videos, and I've just been trying to watch soccer for the full enjoyment of it, rather than always thinking about, okay, I need to make a video after, and that's been good for me. And there's been plenty to watch. I mean, geez, it has been an awesome summer of soccer between the Copa America, between the Euros, NWSL obviously been in action, US women's national team geared up for the Olympics. But anyway, today we are going to talk about the Euro final and the Copa America final. I'm very curious what y'all are more excited for. I did a poll actually this afternoon on Twitter, and from the early results, it looked like Copa America was ahead. And in the tweet, I said, look, there is a correct answer. And I think y'all done pretty good so far, my Twitter followers. I think the Copa America final is a little bit more exciting, but both of them should be very engaging. So I will talk about each game a little bit. But before we get into the video, as always, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Drop a like on the video if you're still supporting. I will say, to anybody who still clicks on this video and I haven't posted for like a month, that means a lot to me. And for the people who have continued through everything this channel has been through since it started and are still watching the videos, I really appreciate you. Y'all support means a lot to me. And this summer has just been wacky for me. I can't even really promise consistent content over the next month or so, because I'm gonna have so many different things to figure out in my life. I might have to move. I got this surgery coming up. It's just gonna be very difficult for me to make much content, but I will be back as soon as I possibly can with regular videos. I don't like doing this where it's like one video in a month and then I'm just gone for a little bit. Like, if I'm gonna get back to it, I wanna be consistent with it. So until that is a possibility for me personally, I may not be posting, but for the subscribers, be sure to stick around. Don't go anywhere, because the journey is not stopping. The grind is not stopping. A lot is going on behind the scenes still, and I am working on a lot of stuff. I have a lot of ideas, and I want to be able to step it up even more in the coming year. So don't go anywhere. And we got a lot to talk about in this video. Also, if y'all want a free 7-day trial of FuboTV where you could watch the Copa America final, you could watch the Euro 2020 final this weekend, there's a link in the description. Use that link and sign up. It will help me out. It will help you out, get some soccer to watch. And yeah, that would be appreciated if you want to do that. So let's talk about these games. And I want to start with Copa America. Neymar versus Messi. I mean, this one is just mad. Like, there's no overselling this game. First of all, just the fact that it's Brazil against Argentina. In Brazil as well. Brazil have not lost a competitive game under Chichi to another South American team. And Brazil have really been the dominant team over the past few years. Argentina have been a mess. Chile have been aging a little bit and they crashed out of the tournament. Colombia are right there, kind of on that next tier, but Argentina were able to get past them in the shootout. But nobody's really touched Brazil. They've been pretty comfortable so far. There have been a lot of one-goal games, but this Brazil side is so good at controlling games, mostly because their back line is nearly impenetrable. I mean, with Marquinhos, Thiago Silva, Casemiro in the holding midfield, you look at their goalkeepers, Ederson, Alisson, it's very hard to break that team down. They're able to keep the ball and recycle it very well. You know, they draw fouls, they frustrate you, and once they get a 1-0 lead, it's very, very difficult for them to lose a grip on that. And that's something really to pay attention for to Argentina. If they're able to score first, that would be huge, because if Brazil score first, it's very unlikely, I think, that Argentina would be able to turn a game around against them. And we'll get to Messi in a second, but don't forget how massive this is for Neymar as well. He does still have kind of that signature moment for Brazil when he won the Olympics with them in Rio, and obviously that was massive, but in the grand scheme of things, people usually don't really take the Olympics that seriously in terms of kind of a career achievement in the men's game. And I mean, Messi's won the Olympics, but people still criticize him a lot. So Neymar does still have a bigger hill to get over. We know what happened with his injury at the 2014 World Cup, 2018 World Cup. They were looking pretty good. They get knocked out by a very good Belgian team, but you would definitely argue they could have gone further because they played well against Belgium and had a lot of chances. And then when they did win the Copa America last time in 2019, Neymar was unavailable for injury. So this is his first real big opportunity to lead Brazil to something since that Olympics. And this being the first major tournament where he could do that, this is massive for him. That's been the one knock about Neymar. Nobody denies his ability. Everybody loves Neymar. Everybody loves watching Neymar. He's starting to climb the ranks in terms of all-time Brazil stats. He's knocking on the door to overtake Pelé for all-time goal scoring with Brazil. But this would definitely take his legacy to another level if he's able to do it, because he's been Brazil's man of the match. I would say pretty much every single game this tournament when he has played. He showed everything that makes him so good, and he's absolutely been a leader in this team. Now, pretty much everything I said for Neymar also applies to Messi. So let's talk about Argentina for a moment, because Messi, more so than Neymar, gets dragged down for his international accomplishments in terms of not doing well at the World Cup, not doing well at a Copa America. Argentina as a whole have had a torrid record in Copa America recently. They lose those back-to-back shootouts against Chile, and then didn't do well in 2019 either. And to this point, Messi's best achievement is making the World Cup final and ultimately losing. I think there's a pretty common consensus that if Messi could even just eke out this one Copa America or one World Cup at some point, that would solidify his legacy. There could be no questions asked. He's accomplished everything else there is to accomplish. His Argentina teams, on the whole, have let him down more than the other way around. And he's got a real opportunity here if they were to beat Brazil. But to me, there's a lot more pressure on Messi's shoulders here than there is on Neymar's shoulders. Despite this being in Brazil and Brazil being the favorites, this could be Messi's last chance. Yes, World Cup 2022 will be an opportunity for him as well, but I think everything about the circumstances of that World Cup, it's going to be a very difficult one to win. Mid-season, more teams involved in the tournament. The atmosphere is going to be very strange in Qatar. I wouldn't count on that. And this is a huge opportunity for him. Much like Neymar, he's been Argentina's best player pretty much every single game this tournament. I think he's got 4 goals and 5 assists. He's scored 2 free kicks. He's been involved in pretty much every goal that they've scored. And he is going to have to be the man if they're going to beat Brazil. And again, that's why I think the pressure is really on Messi in this game. But because Argentina's back line is shaky, and to me, I wouldn't really count on them for a shutout here, there's a lot of pressure on him going forward to create something and find a way to break down this Brazil team that has been so stingy. And what I am happy for Argentina and happy for Messi at this point is that he has finally gotten some help. I mean, you look at the performance of Emiliano Martinez in that penalty shootout. You knew I was going to mention it at some point because I absolutely love the guy. I've been telling everybody about Martinez, but he's been a real difference maker for them this tournament. Argentina have not had a solid goalkeeper in a long time, and he dominated that penalty shootout. Not only the way he saved it, he dominated the entire thing mentally. And Messi was getting in on it too. He was screaming at Jerry Mina and the other Colombian players. And you look at the way that Argentina celebrated that penalty shootout win, you could see how much it meant to them, and you could see the opportunity that they know they have. But I can't lie, as I'm thinking about how this game will go, I'm a little nervous about the way that Argentina was celebrating, because if I was Brazil watching that, they celebrated like they won the whole tournament, and they still haven't played us in our home country in the final yet, when we haven't lost to a South American team in the past several years. For that reason, I am leaning towards Brazil in this one, but I am absolutely thrilled to just be a part of it, just to be here and be watching it. We haven't seen Neymar and Messi play against each other for Argentina and Brazil since 2016. Do y'all realize that? It's been 5 years since we've seen this in any game, let alone the final, where there's so much riding on it for both of these players and both of these teams. They're 2 of the best players in the world right now. They're going to be going head to head, and I just can't wait. Let me know your predictions down in the comments, and we can move on and talk a little bit about the Euro final as well. So moving on to the Euro final, Definitely a lot of narratives and storylines throughout this one as well, but really it's all about England. I mean, pressure's on. I said this in my previews that there's no excuses for England this tournament. They've played 6 out of their 7 games at Wembley. Final is going to again be at Wembley, 60,000 fans. Saw the atmosphere against Denmark. It was pretty incredible. And having fans back in the stadiums has been one element of the Euros that has particularly made it more exciting even than Copa America with the COVID situation down there. It's been a real thrill to watch the games with the fans. England have certainly latched onto that. And you could see a real difference when they played Denmark, in a team in Denmark where they had to play their last game in Baku and then fly all the way back over to England versus England being at home this whole time. Italy has also done a little bit of traveling, but at least they got their group stage games at home. But now they have to come into this hostile atmosphere against England, a team that has not won a major tournament since 1966. This is also their first final since that time, so they haven't even been here since they won that 66 World Cup. There's no telling what this will bring. I mean, obviously massive amount of nerves for the English fans. I wonder how the players cope with it, because something tells me that a lot of these players are not really thinking about that too much. Like, they're so young and they're so much a part of this completely new style of English football and brand, and they're trying to leave some of that old stuff behind, and they're trying to leave some of that talent that went to waste narrative aside. They've done it so far in this tournament. Hasn't exactly been beautiful football from Gareth Southgate, but they've scraped their way through. I mean, you look at the teams that they've actually beat in this tournament. The best team being like Croatia or Denmark, probably Denmark, but obviously without their best player. And that's what gives me some pause about England heading into this final, and I'm sure their fans will be the first to admit it as well. Italy are coming off wins against Belgium and Spain, and that semi-final against Spain, I mean, what a game that was. That was truly the atmosphere of a final, a high-quality game, and Italy had to play in a way that they haven't really played the rest of the tournament. For the most part, they've really been on the front foot. They've had the ball in most of their games. They've dominated the other team. But I think the combination of playing against a Spanish team that never cedes possession to anybody, and also them losing Spinazzola, who had been a major part of their attacking force, they had to play on the back foot more. They had to scrape a goal on the counter, and what a finish it was from Chiesa. Totally against the run of play, but to me, it was impressive that Italy won that way. They made it through to penalties, and they succeeded in the penalties. I would certainly have a lot more faith than them should this game go the distance than I would in England, given their obvious history in that department, and the fact that I think there's a huge gulf between Donnarumma and Jordan Pickford. And I do briefly want to give my take on the big talking point from the last round, which was England and that penalty kick that was given in extra time against Denmark. Everybody's asking, was it a dive? And I'll be honest with you, it was probably a dive, but I don't care. Say what you want, the game is gone, these players are going soft, whatever. Why don't we give some credit to Sterling for dribbling past 2 Danish defenders in the box? No other England player did that the entire game. So to me, as one of the best attacking plays of the game, shouldn't he get a little credit for winning that penalty, whether there was enough contact for him to go down or not? And also, the way that he dove, the timing of the way he dove. I know people don't want to admit that there's a technique to this, that there's a strategy to this, but there is. And he's particularly good at it. And I feel like, again, you have to give him a little bit of credit for making a play where he knew the ref had no choice but to call it. He made the ref make a decision in that moment with the pressure, with the extra time, with the fans bearing down. He made the call as a penalty, and once you do that, very hard to overturn. So I had no problem with the play from Sterling. I think fair play to him for winning it. He's been their best player all tournament. And man, Kane did his best to F it all up, but he was able to get the rebound and they advanced to the final. So maybe a little bit lucky, but things like that have to go your way if you're going to win a major tournament. They will need something similar to that in the final. I would expect Italy to be a much tougher test than anybody they've played yet. And for that reason, I favor Italy in the final, because Italy have just played 2 teams in Belgium and Spain who were some of the favorites and were playing some of the best football at the tournament. England, meanwhile, beat Ukraine in the quarterfinal. They beat Denmark in the semifinal. Yes, they have home advantage. Yes, they seem like they've got this momentum, but I would have to favor Italy in this game, and I would love to know what you guys think. So yeah, man, that's gonna be all from me. I hope y'all are excited for the games. I hope y'all enjoy them throughout this weekend, and hopefully this video gets you through for a while, because like I said, I'm not so sure that there will be many coming in the immediate future, but you know, stay down with me. Don't go anywhere, because there will be more to come. I just kind of have to get some stuff sorted out first. But I appreciate y'all, and thanks for tuning into this video, and I will catch y'all next time.